Welcome to Wrestle Rant HD, America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. This is the show that gives you everything you want to know and more about professional wrestling. You want information? You come here. You want entertainment? Where else you gonna go? The WWE? You come here, and that's where you get it. First things first, on the very start of the show, I know it has nothing to do with professional wrestling, but it did happen. And if you're like me, you grew up, no matter what era you came from, listening to Whitney Houston's music. I would like to extend my personal condolences to the Houston family. God bless you and your family. Now, let's get to the business of professional wrestling. How about this? This week in professional wrestling was really another promo week for the bi-monther Elimination Chamber, which you can see live on pay-per-view if you choose to spend the money, or if there are still any out there, a hot spot near you. Hey, go eat some wings, chill with your friends, have a good time. But Elimination Chamber might be the one you want to watch if you feel like paying for it. Great matches in the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to tell you who I like before we get any further into the show. I like Chris Jericho. I like Wade Barrett. And I definitely am disappointed that Randy Orton has been taken out of the Elimination Chamber due to a concussion injury. That stinks. I like Randy Orton. So, moving right along. Did you see the debate on Monday Night Raw between CM Punk, Chris Jericho, and The Miz? Listen, how much worse could it get than that? I don't want to see anything else like that. Remember what CM Punk talked about before? A bit brouhaha? Well, there was no brouhaha here. In fact, there was barely any ha-ha. What I saw was boring. It was another stab by WWE Creative at some great talent in that ring that could have really let loose. Namely, The Miz and CM Punk could have went at it with each other all night long. Was Creative going to harness that natural talent? Of course not. Do they ever? Anyway, I would have liked to have seen more of a professional wrestling promo than a sports entertainment promo leading into this week's Elimination Chamber. Ouch! Did HBK say the word coward to Triple H? Hey, if you're going to have two guys play on each other, why not go back to the old vintage Friends routine? Shawn Michaels, Triple H, these two have been best friends for how long? Good story. But you have to wonder, will it end up being Triple H against The Undertaker at WrestleMania? Or could HBK strap the boots back on to do it a third time instead of Triple H? Now, personally, I don't think either of them should be getting back in the ring as much as I love HBK. I think we need to see a new face, a fresh, no pun intended, body for The Undertaker to bury. Scratch that, pun intended. I want there to be something different at WrestleMania this year. How many times did Hulk Hogan face the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania? Let me count. 1, 2. Oh, okay. One time. How many times did Hulk Hogan face the Macho Man at WrestleMania? Let's see. 1. Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. One time. Now, dark matches, as we all know, don't count. We're talking WrestleMania here. How many times have you seen people face each other at the same pay-per-view over and over and over again? This speaks to WWE's lack of talent capacity. I mean, lack of using what they have. Tyler Rex, aka Tyler Black from the Ring of Honor. What a dominant species you have in Tyler Black, WWE, and you refuse to use him? Come on, guys, wake up! Alright, the John Cena Kane story is out there. And when I say out there, I mean out there. The way that they're trying to pull the heel right out of John Cena, I like it. But man, you gotta know if this were a real life situation and a girl like Eve looked at you when you were interested in her and said the word, dare I say it, friend. How many of you guys watching this show would fall on the floor crying? You'd never live that down. A beautiful girl like that says, friend? Man, you could time the second Zack Ryder's character's heart broke in two places. One over here, one over there. Great story. And John, I must admit, when I was watching you kiss Eve, you enjoyed that just a little bit more than you probably were supposed to. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. She's a woman. You're a man. It happens. It's totally natural. You know, let me talk to you about the birds and the bees, John. Oh, sorry. Family show. Okay. Now, here's what needs to happen. What needs to happen is there needs to be some sort of catalyst to finish the Kane John Cena story. It can't just be all about John Cena and Kane, and they're doing that. Zack Ryder, involved in the mix, makes this a great story. I think it's going to work out just fine. I'm happy with it. You should be too. And if you're not, I'm going to say something about it, because this is America's #1 professional wrestling rant show, Wrestle Rant HD. Don't you go anywhere. You love professional wrestling, so you join an independent professional wrestling organization. You love it. In time, a bigger promotion recognizes you and signs you to their roster. However, you are not as successful as you once were in the independent promotion, and instead, you end up jobbing to this man, Brodus Clay.
Looks like there's a serious side to this man. Oh no! Tyler Rex, see you bye!
Don't job to Brodus Clay. Do watch WrestleRant HD each week on YouTube or wherever video streaming is available.
Brodus Clay! Somebody call the mama!
Teddy Long, bad. Daniel Bryan, bad. Okay, enough of the theatrics. Big Show went on a huge rant this week on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, I have not seen Big Show do something like that in a long time. Mark Henry tried to stick his nose in the Big Show's business and got a WMD for his troubles. Let me tell you, I'm glad Big Show didn't really hit Mark Henry, because if he had, Mark Henry would be eating oatmeal for a long time. Big Show is a big guy to take a punch from. And let me tell you, a lot of guys are glad that the Big Show hasn't hit them directly in the jaw. For real. But let me say this. I like the anger in the Big Show. We need to see that all the time. Hey, I'm not saying he has to be completely healed to show that anger. But what I am saying is he's a giant. And giants should display some sort of monstrous attitude. Good job, Big Show. You're a lot more interesting when you're angry. Anyway, I have something very special I want to do on this episode of WrestleRant HD. You see, I have it on very good authority that when Friday Night SmackDown visits Columbus, Ohio, Tamina Snuka will be there at SmackDown. And this WrestleRant HD host, Angelo Demetrius, would like to ask Tamina for a very special shoot interview. Tamina, this is for you. Check it out. Hello, Tamina Snuka. This is the WrestleRant HD host, Angelo Demetrius, asking you by special request for a shoot interview at Friday Night SmackDown, March 13th in Columbus, Ohio. Now, Tamina, this show is America's #1 professional wrestling rant show. And anytime I ask for an interview, it is out of respect to any superstar. I promise you that the interview will not only be professional, but it will pose you in a good light as a WWE superstar. Tamina, I would be honored if you would accept my request for an interview with you. Welcome back to WrestleRant HD. You are in the place where history will more than likely be made if Tamina Snuka gives me that interview. You want to see that interview? Go to Tamina Snuka's Twitter account and Twitter her and ask her for me, Angelo Demetrius, to have that special interview with her March 13th at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Now, let's get back to business. How about Santino Marella winning that Battle Royal on Friday Night SmackDown? Can you believe that? Well, I guess they gotta have a jobber in that elimination chamber, don't they? I guess they gotta have somebody that's gonna lay down for the 3 count. You know, the extra body to leave the ring so that there can be 2 guys left to contend in the ring. Anyway, congratulations, Santino. So, let me get to what's really been on my mind concerning both the Elimination Chamber matches. I think it's stupid. It's completely stupid. Here's what I mean. You got 2 Elimination Chamber matches for 2 belts. I'm sorry, I have to go along with what I've been saying the whole time since this show started. Who do you respect? Do you respect Daniel Bryan? Or do you respect CM Punk? I respect CM Punk. CM Punk is just a better overall character. The WWE title, if you're going to say that was the WWF title, has more prestige behind it, if any. The World Heavyweight Championship has the prestige of Ric Flair, has the prestige of Big Van Vader, many greats. But this is WWF's World Heavyweight Championship. So it has zero prestige. I respect whoever is the WWE champion more than the World Heavyweight champion. Now, I've always been torn about this. WWE, you've got to make a decision. This indecisive rambling of two champions has got to stop. And when you have two champions in the ring competing, come on. It's clear who the better champion is. It's clear who the better character is. CM Punk, I'm pushing for you and any person who becomes the WWE champion to be the champion. I have made my decision as a fan that the WWE title should be the title to contend for in World Wrestling Entertainment. Vince McMahon, WWE creative. Óyeme, chico. Listen to me. It is time for you to make a solid, grounded decision that there is one man in the WWE who is respected above all others. Stop playing this game of title roulette. Nobody cares about the SmackDown title, if that's what you're going to call it. In fact, if you don't improve the writing on SmackDown, nobody's going to care about SmackDown. The only reason I watch, Beth Phoenix, Tamina, of course, and a couple other guys on SmackDown like Sheamus, and if you ever let him win a match again, Drew McIntyre. Other than that, your writing has got to improve. It's improved a little bit, WWE, but not that much. So, this has been WrestleRant HD. I'm glad to come into your home each and every week via the internet or whatever streaming device you may use. I hope to see you again right here on WrestleRant HD next week. Until then, this is Angelo Demetrius saying, go to Tamina Snuka's Twitter account and tell her you want to see that interview. Good. Bye, everybody.